What happens when age, passion, and societal boundaries collide? Today, we're diving into some of the most provocative and thought-provoking films that explore forbidden relationships between older women and younger men. Get ready for a mix of raw emotion, quiet intensity, and complicated desires. These stories are anything but ordinary. Sentimental Education is a subtle French drama that explores the boundaries of passion, intelligence, and age. The story unfolds around Jean, an experienced and erudite woman, and a young student who falls under her charm. Unlike banal love stories, everything here is much deeper. Every dialogue, every pause speaks of a thirst for understanding, a desire to feel something real. The film doesn't shock, it fascinates with its restrained sensuality and unhurried philosophy. It is not just a romance between an older woman and a younger man. It is a clash of worlds, views, and inner crises. The atmosphere is imbued with melancholy, and the actor's performance makes every frame alive. For those looking for a mature and subtle movie about forbidden intimacy, Sentimental Education will be a real discovery. Intimate Strangers is a Brazilian drama that explores loneliness, passion, and the search for intimacy in the big city. The plot centers on a woman whose life falls apart after her husband moves out. Left alone, she accidentally meets a young writer, and there is an attraction between them that develops into something more. It is not a tumultuous romance, but rather a slowly unfolding emotional connection, filled with longing and a need to be heard. The movie keeps the viewer in suspense as the characters doubt, suffer, try, and backslide. There is no explicit moral here, but there is a lot of truth about human vulnerability. Intimate Strangers is a movie not so much about love, but about spiritual nudity, which one can rarely afford even in the closest relationships. A very chamber and sensual work. Secret Love is a German television drama in which the theme of forbidden love is revealed with surprising sensitivity. A young student and an adult female letter carrier unexpectedly find in each other what they lacked: attention, understanding, sincerity. This is not just a novel, but a story of two lonelinesses crossed against the background of provincial silence. The movie avoids sensationalism, emphasizing emotions, glances, nonverbal tension. There is warmth in it, but also sadness from the realization of the impossibility of continuation. He is also distinguished by the fact that he does not judge, but observes, giving the viewer space for judgment. The acting is natural, which makes the characters' feelings especially convincing. It's not a loud movie, but it's its quiet sincerity that hooks you. Lulu is a Spanish drama that boldly explores the theme of sexual awakening and female freedom through the story of an adult woman whose life changes after meeting a much younger man. The movie is built on contrasts. Lulu, tired of routine, and her passion for her young lover, in whom she finds what she has been missing: spontaneity, danger, risk. This is not just an affair, it is the heroine's inner liberation, her journey to her true self. The picture is saturated with corporeality, but it does not go. It is about the thirst to be alive, about the desire to break the limits of propriety. Not everyone will suit this format. There is a minimum of plot, a maximum of mood. But if you are ready for a frank, honest, and a bit dark look at female sexuality, Lulu will definitely hook you. A Higher Law is a Romanian psychological drama in which the relationship between a married religion teacher and her student develops in an oppressive atmosphere of morality, guilt, and forbidden attraction. There is no lightness here. The film is slow, somber, almost ascetic, but that's what makes it mesmerizing. The protagonist finds herself crushed between her strict religious beliefs and the inner impulse awakened by young passion. The mutual attraction unfolds in a space where every touch seems a crime and every word a confession. The movie demands patience from the viewer, but the reward is a profound reflection on the nature of desire and hypocrisy. A Higher Law is not about love in the usual sense, but about the struggle between body and spirit. It is one of those films after which you remain silent for a long time. Breath is an Australian drama based on Tim Winton's novel of the same name, about growing up, fear, and attraction to the forbidden. Two teenagers get into surfing and meet an ex-professional who lives a reclusive life with his wife, the enigmatic and aloof Eva. It is with her that one of the boys develops a secret relationship filled with anxiety, excitement, and danger. The movie subtly conveys the feelings of a teenager caught in the world of adults, where there is no clear understanding what is good and what is destructive. This is not romance, but rather a painful experience that leaves a trace for life. The direction and visual style are calm, almost meditative, which emphasizes the inner storm of the characters. Breath is a movie about the fragility of boundaries and how one risky step can change the perception of reality.
What are you talking about?
Madre is a Spanish-French drama by Rodrigo Sorogoyen that begins as a thriller and turns into a tense story of inner rebirth through a complex relationship. The protagonist is a mother who has lost her son, and years later, she meets a teenager who reminds her of him. A strange, almost hypnotic bond develops between them, where maternal concern gradually intertwines with something deeper and more disturbing. This movie offers no easy answers and teeters on the edge of psychological suspense and sensual intimacy. Sorogoyen masterfully builds the atmosphere, tense, subtle, disturbing. Madre is not about love in the usual sense, but about longing, loneliness, and the temptation to find a replacement for someone who can never be returned. The picture keeps you in a constant state of uncertainty. What is really going on between them? The movie is controversial, but definitely does not leave indifferent. Sparrows is an Icelandic drama where the romantic line between a mature woman and a young boy appears implicitly, almost as a shadow against the backdrop of harsh adulthood. The story follows Ari, a teenager who, after living in Reykjavik, returns to his father in a bleak and isolated village. There, he encounters alienation, aggression, and a strange atmosphere where adults lose their bearings and teenagers are forced to grow up fast. In this silence of northern nature, the same woman, older, more experienced, also appears, and a fragile, almost silent intimacy develops between them. But Sparrows is not about romance. It's a movie about pain, loss, and the search for meaning. Its strength lies in silence, looks, and Scandinavian restraint, in which more is hidden than it may seem. A very beautiful, subtle, and disturbing movie. The Other End is a dramedy about complex and forbidden feelings that intertwine with reality and fantasy. The story focuses on a young woman who enters into a relationship with a much younger man, despite all the social restrictions and barriers. This relationship is not only about passion, but also about the struggle with herself and the world around her. The plot is fairly straightforward, but it's the subtle emotional tension between the characters that makes the movie particularly interesting. This is not a typical romantic drama, but rather a reflection on inner freedom, the search for oneself, and what is at stake. The Other End doesn't seek excuses, but it doesn't condemn either. It simply plunges into the world of love, where there are no right decisions.
Hi. Mind if I touch your wiener?
What?
No Hard Feelings is a frank and in places awkward romantic comedy starring wife Lawrence.
I missed that.
Maddie, a 32-year-old woman, desperately needs money to save her mother's house. She responds to an unusual ad, wealthy parents looking for someone to help their shy 19-year-old son Percy gain confidence before entering Princeton. In return, they promise an automobile. Maddie agrees, but soon realizes that Percy is not what she expected. The movie combines elements of physical comedy and touching drama. The scene where Maddie, while naked, fights teenagers on the beach has become one of the most talked about. Critics say the movie touches on important themes of growing up, sexuality, and personal boundaries.
Don't know what to do. I just know my mom would have wanted me to save the house.
These films challenge conventions, blur lines, and provoke deep reflections on desire, intimacy, and the human condition. Which one piqued your interest the most? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking movie reviews. See you in the next video.